Alright, here we are. Mark Hudson said he wanted to see this trapping stuff done from the beginning to the end, so I'm gonna show you what I do every season. So if it gets boring, it's his fault. Now I take these traps, and this is from last season, and they're pretty dirty. And I like to get, I don't want to get the rust off. The rust is what helps hold the dye and the dip that I dip them in. I don't put them in dye no more. I don't see no sense in it. I use that Full Metal Jacket. That's what, shoot, I can't even remember his name. Locklear. That's all I can remember is his last name. I don't even know if I got it right. But that's all he uses. He just dips his traps. And as you can see there, they're rusty. But it's mostly just surface rust. And I have this little brush here. It's come from my gun cleaning kit, but I don't want nothing to hinder these traps from firing. I don't want none of that old dirt on them. Now that Full Metal Jacket, that also get inside them springs good. You want those springs to be to every bit of what they can be. These traps, I know, you know, I hear people saying they're cruel and to the animals and all, but I'm gonna be honest with you, they're not. They really not. A regular rat trap will hurt you worse than one of these coming down on your hand. I know, I've got my hand caught in them several times. I like to make sure that on top of my dog is kind of slick. So I'll take my file and make sure any kind of ridges or anything, because a season of trapping with these will really wear them out. Now these are going to go, well, this one right here is number 2. A good coyote trap. Some people use 1 3/4, which I've got a couple of them, and they'll hold the coyote, but the 2s and 3s get a better bite on their foot to hold them better. You get a lot of toe catches with anything any smaller. But anyway, well, let me see if I can move you down here. Now I have to check the pan tension, so I'll set these traps. And yeah, I'm doing everything with bare hands now, but after I dip it, I won't touch these again with my bare hands. I'll have either probably have leather gloves on. But this back here is where your dog goes into your pan. And this here is a loose jaw. And you flip it up. That way your hands don't get caught if this thing accidentally fires. One of the things I like to check is make sure I can pull that down. And I eyeball mine. Some people measure it and all that. But I make sure, I don't know if you can see that or not, that thing's flat. Okay, now they make a tool to where you can check your pan tension. I've been doing this long enough, I kind of know by feel. I mean, it's not no rocket science to me how tight I want it. And that's about right. So that trap's ready to go. I also like to check, make sure here in the state of Georgia, and I'm sure everywhere else, you have to have your traps tagged with either your name and address on it or your permanent trapper's ID. Well, I've had these tags since I started trapping, and I'm still using them. I can still read it. If I can read it, they can read it, because I'm almost blind. But now comes the time to put anchors on them, and I use earth anchors for mine. And I'll start out with a piece probably from the tip of my bird finger to under my arm. And I'm going to have to get me some more wire before long. This here is 3/32 wire. It's it will actually hold a beaver. This is I think this one's stainless. I believe this one's stainless anyway. Here you have a double ferrule. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to shove in one end of the wire in it. I'm going to bend it over and go back. Swallowed a little chewing tobacco. And I'm going to go back through the other hole, which creates a loop. Then I'm going to take my crimpers come down here where it says 3/32. It's a little tight fit, but it'll go in there. Sometimes you just have to be a little persuasive. And I'll crimp this twice. Because I want to make sure that it don't come out. I also make my snares from this same wire. And it should come out of there, but like I said, it's a tight fit. One of these days I'll get me one of them that goes on the table. But that's pretty much what you get. And trust me, that's not going nowhere. I've had coyotes pull on them and everything else, and they ain't never went nowhere. Also, these here are made out of aluminum, but they're still good. Again, I'll add another one. And I order most of my supplies either from Southern Snare or Southern Snare or F&T Post Trading. But you see, I put that double ferro there, and then I'll take one of these earth anchors and run it through there. And then back through that other side of that ferro. Get that out of my way. Then I'll go back in my crimpers. And I'll crimp it again on this end. Put another crimp in it. And there you have an anchor. And the way this works, I have a tool that slides down in between this groove here. Can you see a groove? And into this little catch basin here. And I will drive that into the ground. They're about the whole length of this. And then I'll pull back up on it, and when I do, this flips like this. And they ain't no coyote, I can't even pull them out. You have to either take a special made tool to pull them out. I dig them down kind of close and just clip them off when it's time to remove the traps. Normally, I didn't order them this year. I would have another piece of chain here with a swivel on it. But on these, this year, I'm just going to try to run 2 swivels. They recommend 3. But it don't really matter for me, because here in the state of Georgia, you have to check your traps every single day. So the animal's not going to be in it long enough to really do no damage. If you're going to be leaving your checking them every other day or something like that, then you'd want to make sure you put 3 swivels in there. But I got this J hook here that I'm going to open it up just a little bit, enough to get that wire in. And they make tools to do this. and it's laying around here somewhere. But man, this Papa Bear, he don't do nothing the easy way. But then I just take it and run that other loop that ain't got the anchor on it through that J hook. And now you might want to, a lot of people, they change these J hooks out every year. I change them out about every 2 years, because after doing this quite a while, you know how a piece of wire works. The more you open and close it, it'll get hot and break. Anyway, that's how the connection is. And this wire here, it don't matter. You can touch it with your hands all you want after you've dipped them. Just don't touch none of this. And I'm going to show you, if I can, what I do. Camera's a little bit crooked. I don't know if you can see that or not. You can see this bucket right here. Got 2 traps in the dip already. And I'm going to just let them drip off a little bit. These are already set. Everything ready to, then I'll just dip that in there, get it all over it. Drop that chain and all down in there. And I don't know if you can see them or not. I've got 3 hanging there, I got 1 over there. So I'm gonna hang these 2 if I can get them unhooked. Right here there. But you can tell, you can see kind of, I hope you can see it, they're kind of shiny now. That's kind of like having a wax over them. And before I take them out, I'll have to reset them and clean the jaws off, and probably scrape the dog down. If not, I'll end up getting my fingers in them. Bring you back down here. Ah! You better get away from that, boy. Got my old hound dog out here. He thinks everything's for him to chew up. People ask me why I don't use long springs. Well, I don't use them because I ain't got but 1, and it ain't no good. Well, it'd be good if I fixed it, but I got a little Victor long spring here, but it's an old Victor. It's a 1.5. It'd probably be good for coon or muskrat, but I don't ever use it. This is one of my I think this is a 1.5. Might be a 1 3/4. Oh, this is a Duke. And it's supposed to be a number 2. Although you've seen the Bridgers that I just did, them was number 2s, and you see they're a lot bigger. But Duke's all right trap. The only thing I don't like about the Duke is every time it fires, just about, you have to reset it because they bend. The Bridgers, usually I don't have to do nothing with them but reset them. But you go with whatever budget allows you, especially if you love trapping. And I do love trapping. And I can just about guarantee you I'm going to have to do some adjusting on this since it's a Duke. I ain't picked one up yet that I didn't have to adjust every year. They're not as heavy made as the Bridgers. And if you got the money, you can get even better traps than the Bridgers. But the Bridgers has always worked for me. So. I take this little brush and I get in where that bigger brush won't reach. I like to get them springs clean. And the way these things work is you see these levers here, they pull down to let the jaws open, and then when the animal steps on the pan will release this dog, which this dog is holding down this jaw, and that jaw will spring back up from these springs right here, if you can see them. And these right here just come up and they hold the dog. If you can see, there's no teeth. I know the anti-animal crew, whatever they call themselves, PETA, they say, oh no, them things cut the animal's foots off and all that. No, it don't. All it does is just hold the animal there. When I catch an animal this year, I'll even show you the foot on the animal. You won't see no scarring or nothing. I mean, why would I want something that's going to cut the animal's foot off? Because the animal won't be there when I get back. I mean, it's just stupid what they try to say. It just goes to show you a lack of sense. And I don't know what it is about these Dukes. but they're the hardest traps I've ever set. It's like they don't want to go all the way down or something. I don't know. But to adjust this part of the level of the pan and all, you can take this little part back here and you can bend it however you need. And in this case, I gotta bend it forward a little bit. But you gotta make sure that when that pan's dropped all the way down, that dog will clear it so that trap will snap. Let's try setting this again. And that's about perfect right there for that. Because everything's pretty much flat. And I don't know if you can see it, how that dog fits inside that pan there. It's just barely hooked, which I mean I can give it a little more. Lift that free jaw up. I adjusted it a little bit closer. And I think that tension's about right on it. May want to loosen it just a hair. Work that loose a little bit. Oh yeah. That feels about right. So now, all we got to do, let me get that dirt off right there. What are you doing, boy? Don't you be playing with them skunks. He gets out here running them daggum skunks. They spray him. Whew. So now we're gonna, boy, I'm gonna have to really get me some more wire. Sometimes I can shorten these a little bit, but not a whole lot. And once again, I gotta say something because I got some snares to set. I got some snares I gotta set, and I had to anchor them down too. Yes, I got my coffee. Good stuff too. But before I make the anchor for that, I'm gonna this is the kind of gunk and all you gotta clean up from them and all. I think this is a number 3. Yeah. This is the difference between a number 3 and a number 2. This here being the number 2. And this is also a bridger. This is what I use for raccoons. These are offsets 1.5 bridgers. They call them offset because they got the little groove here. But compare it to a number 2. But I've seen people catch coyotes on these too. But usually it's just the toes with the offset. You missed them. But anyway, I wanted to show that. Mark wants to see it from beginning to end. So that's part of it. I got me some sand there because, you know, here in North Georgia it snows and the ice is up. So I got me some sand and I got me some salt and peat moss, or I think it's called peat moss. Real fluffy stuff. I got it over there, which I can mix it together to where it don't freeze. And most of the time for my pan covers, I'll either use that bacon wax cookies and all on, or I'll just find a big leaf and cover my pan. That way the dirt don't get up underneath your pan. You gotta always make sure you don't get dirt up underneath there, because of that. If that pan can't come down, if there's dirt up underneath it and it can't come down, that trap ain't gonna fire. So you want to make sure you always covered, or some people will get that I can't even think of what it is. They put it in between blankets when they make blankets, quilts and stuff. It's like a matting. It's real soft and you can flatten it down to nothing. Some people will shove that in there and then sprinkle over. I got salt over there. I don't really like using it. I'm going to try to order me some flaked antifreeze for this year. It don't have a smell to it, and that salt, you know, animals love salt, so I don't want them licking on my trap. I don't want to catch them by the nose. I want to catch them by the foot, so I don't want them to mess with my trap at all. So anyway, I'll upload this as soon as I can, and probably Monday or Tuesday, if the weather stays cool, I'll take you out and set a few traps, and which I'm probably going to set on that 1,000 acres. I'm probably at first going to set about 30 something traps on it for coyote, and probably 3 or 4 snares for some beaver. And then I've got a little creek that runs to a lake. I don't know how many acres is there, but she's got a beaver problem. I mean, they've dammed up and the water's come up into her yard and going up underneath her barns and everything, and she tries to keep feed and stuff out there. And then I've got a 42-acre place that's ate up with muskrat, and he says he's seen beavers, but I haven't seen no sign of them. But I'm gonna try to make some fake colostrum piles and make a mock scrape and see if I can get anything to come through one of my snares there. And I'm gonna set, but I am gonna set for the muskrat because I see muskrat sign everywhere over there. I really hope that y'all see a lot of this old barn. I need to get out here and clean it up. My daughter, she moved out, so maybe I can get her to get her stuff out of here, and I'll have my barn back. Right now, all I've got is a small place in the back there to where I can hang pelts. If she don't get her stuff out of here, then I'm gonna have to probably build me another fur shed. And I'm not just saying it's her, because I got plenty of junk out here too. I got my lawnmowers, I got my tillers and rakes and saws and electric planes, and I've got stretching boards leaned over everywhere. It's a wonder I ever find anything, but one thing about it is nobody come here and rip me off, because I'll probably break their neck. But hey, I'm gonna turn you off now, and I'll get back with you when I go to set these things. Let you see how I set them, and we'll see what we can catch this season. Thanks for watching.